What would you do if, on your 10th wedding anniversary, your wife cried tears of joy across the table from you, while her lover, just feet away, texted her under the linen tablecloth? I never thought I would find myself in such a scene. A grotesque pantomime of love and devotion playing out in the dimly lit elegance of the gilded spoon. The soft glow of her phone screen, reflecting subtly in her tear-filled eyes, was the only tell. A flicker of blue light, a quick, almost imperceptible glance down, and then back to me. Her face, a mask of perfect, heartbreaking sincerity. My heart hammered against my ribs, not with love, but with a cold, dawning horror. The mystery wasn't if she was cheating, but how deep the deception ran. And who was the man daring to defile our sacred night? The air thickened, each clink of cutlery, each murmur from other diners, amplifying the silence of my shattered world. I knew, in that instant, that everything I believed about my life was a lie, and the man texting her under the table was about to become the architect of her ruin. The humiliation was a physical weight, pressing down on me, suffocating. It wasn't just the anniversary dinner. It was the culmination of months of subtle shifts, of a growing distance I'd foolishly attributed to stress or the natural ebb and flow of a long marriage. Sarah, my wife, had become a stranger. Her once vibrant laugh was now brittle. Her eyes, once full of warmth for me, held a calculating glint. She started working late, always with a plausible excuse, a big project at her marketing firm on Michigan Avenue. A client dinner in the Gold Coast. I believed her, because I loved her, because I trusted her. The slow discovery began innocently enough. A receipt for a high-end boutique in Dallas, Texas, tucked into her carry-on. After a supposed conference call trip to New York, she claimed she'd bought it for her sister. But her sister lived in Seattle and hated designer clothes. Then, the late-night texts. Her phone always face down, always clutched tight. One night, I woke to the faint buzz of her phone on the nightstand. She was in the bathroom. Curiosity, a serpent in my gut, compelled me. I picked it up. The screen lit up with a message from Alex Work. "Can't wait for our next client dinner, my love. You were incredible tonight." My blood ran cold. Alex, not a client, not work. Sarah became increasingly cold, manipulative. She'd pick fights over trivial things, twisting my words, making me feel like I was the problem. "You're so insecure, Mark," she'd sneer, her voice dripping with disdain, when I'd gently ask about her long hours. "Can't you trust me?" She'd gaslight me, making me doubt my own sanity, my own perceptions. The affair partner, Alex, a smug, self-assured man I'd met once at a company picnic, seemed to revel in his conquest. I saw them once, by chance, leaving a discreet hotel near Millennium Park, his hand lingering on her lower back, a possessive smirk on his face. They looked untouchable, wrapped in their illicit bubble, oblivious to the world and certainly to the husband they were destroying. I broke. Truly, utterly broke. I'd sit in my office, staring at the spreadsheets, unable to focus. The taste of ash in my mouth was constant. The man who had built a successful architectural practice, who had always been the rock for his family, was crumbling. I lost weight, slept little, and the joy drained from my life like sand through my fingers. But in that brokenness, a new resolve began to form, cold and sharp as a winter wind off Lake Michigan. They thought they were untouchable? They thought they could play me for a fool? I would show them untouchable. My revenge began quietly, meticulously. I started gathering proof. I hired a private investigator, a former Chicago PD detective named Miller. Miller was a ghost, providing me with irrefutable evidence: photos, hotel receipts, call logs. Even a recording of Sarah confessing her love to Alex in a hushed phone call from a cafe on North Rush Street. Each piece of evidence was a nail in her coffin, a brick in the wall I was building around her. I consulted with a divorce attorney, Ms. Evelyn Reed, a formidable woman known for her ruthless efficiency in family court. "We'll hit her where it hurts, Mr. Jensen," she'd said, her voice calm, professional, yet laced with a hint of steel. "Financially, socially, legally, we'll leave her nothing but the truth. The traps were set." I transferred significant assets into a trust for our children, ensuring Sarah couldn't touch them in a divorce settlement. I subtly alerted key figures in her professional network. planting seeds of doubt about her integrity and commitment. I even arranged for a surprise anniversary party, inviting all our mutual friends, her family, and even some of her colleagues. The stage was set for public exposure. It happened at the party, held at a rented loft space in the West Loop. The room was filled with laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses. Sarah, radiant in a sapphire dress, played the doting wife, accepting congratulations. I waited until the speeches began, until everyone's attention was fixed. I stood, raised my glass, and began to speak. My voice steady, calm. 10 years, I said, looking directly at Sarah. 10 years of marriage, of trust, of building a life together. Then I paused, letting the silence hang heavy. But some foundations are built on sand, and some promises are made to be broken. I then projected a slideshow onto the large screen behind us, not of our wedding photos, but of Miller's evidence. Sarah and Alex, hand in hand, entering hotels in Dallas and Miami, intimate texts exchanged. The recording of her confession playing softly, yet audibly, through the speakers. The room erupted in gasps, whispers, then stunned silence. Sarah's face drained of color, her sapphire dress suddenly looking like a shroud. Alex, who was also present, having been invited by Sarah, tried to slip away, but a few of my friends, alerted beforehand, subtly blocked his exit. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. The divorce proceedings were brutal. With the irrefutable evidence, Sarah lost everything. Her share of our assets, her reputation, her job. Her firm facing public backlash and potential lawsuits swiftly terminated her. Her family, disgusted by her betrayal, distanced themselves. Her social circle evaporated. Two faced professional repercussions, and a public shaming that left his career in tatters. Watched it all, not with joy, but with a chilling sense of completion. Months later, I saw Sarah in a coffee shop on State Street. She was alone, her once impeccable appearance now faded, her eyes hollow. She didn't see me. She just stared out the window, a ghost in the bustling city, a monument to her own destruction. The silence of her ruin was the loudest sound I had ever heard. The end.